Yo, it's Trent. I'm actually excited as fuck to tell you guys this one. This one's really good. So I was thinking in my head, right? People go on vacation, and especially for people around our age or a little bit younger, you're like, how am I gonna find weed? How am I gonna find the things that I normally do? So it was a little over a year ago, but it was less than 2 years, so let's say a year and a half. I was going on vacation, and I was going with my grandma and my grandpa. So, tough crowd to get drugs with. And we're going to Florida, and on this certain day, right? So let me show you how it was, right? We get there on, let's say, Monday, and we're leaving in a week. So, I'm used to smoking every day, all day, right? Here's how it went. Monday, nothing. Tuesday, couldn't find anything. Wednesday, couldn't find anything. Now it's gonna be Thursday, right? I'm fucking freaking out. I'm like, I need something, like today's the day. And today we're going to a beach. I don't know if you guys have been there, if you're from Florida, if you visited Florida, you may have heard of it, or you visited it. Cocoa Beach, right? It's like a family beach. And, in my head, I'm like, I don't care what it takes. I don't care the price. I'm getting weed today, okay? I made it my mission. So it was like two-hour drive, maybe longer. I slept some of it. And we get there. And not gonna lie, if it was a party beach, it would have looked even cooler, but it already looked cool. Like, there was hella people. There was some really, really, really good-looking girls, you know what I mean? And there was stores. So I'm like, you know what? I have faith in this. I believe. So we got there, they want to do a little family stuff, that's fine. Once they're like, you can go do whatever, I'm like, I'm finding it. So they say, Trent, you're good. Go fuck off. Do what you want to do, right? And I remember I had realistically, I probably had $80, maybe. And I'm like 16 or 17. I was probably 17, definitely 17. Yeah, 17. And I was like, I'm going to get this shit. So I start walking around, right? I'm looking for people that either look like they smoke weed or, just people my age. So I walk down the beach a little ways, and I see two people standing, right? And they're sitting there, and there's smoke coming from their little area. So I'm like, I'm going to try that. I walk over, talk to this gentleman, and I'm like, hey, man, I need to get some weed. Do you know where I can find weed anywhere? And he's like, weed? I'm looking for weed, man. And so he pops up, and he's like, my name's EJ. And he starts telling me how he's an actor, right? And I'm like, sweet, He's got, these chains on. And I'm like, that's sick, bro. He's like, it was like his show that he was on. Like, it had, the little symbol. He's like, look it up. I was like, okay, bet, that's cool. So I'm like, we're both looking for weed, What do we do? He's like, give me your number, and if you see anything or if I see anything, we'll text each other. So I'm like, sounds good, So I keep walking, and I see another kid that looks around my age, right? And he doesn't look like he smokes or anything, but I'm desperate, so I'm like, fuck it. I just walk up to this kid, I'm like, yo, my name's Trent, what's up? Do you know where I can find weed? And he's like, no, but honestly, if you find some, I would love to have some. So I added him to the group chat, right? And I told him this scenario. I'm like, if you see someone, me and this dude are looking for some. So we made this little group chat on the beach, right? So I'm getting sad, right? And I walked, let's say Cocoa Beach is long as fuck. So if our tent, or not tent, but our stuff set up, our beach shit is here, I walked all this way, all the opposite way. So now I'm walking back, and I'm like, this is sad, but I'm going to try walking even farther, which is probably 3 or 4 miles with how much walking I ended up doing. So I'm getting sad, right? And I'm getting ready to give up, but I'm like, no giving up, because we got to find it. And I look, and I see, right? This is what I saw. I saw 3 guys playing football. These 2 absolutely jacked white dudes and this super, super, super fat black dude. And I'm like, you know what? Last ditch effort, I'm going to ask these guys, And I walk up and I'm like, yo, please, if any of you know where to find weed, and I was getting even more desperate. I'm like, alcohol, anything that can get me fucked up right now, I want it. And they're like, we got weed, but it's in our car. Did that sketch me out a little bit? Yes, because they're older than me. They look like they're probably in college or getting out, and they're definitely athletes of some type, you know? But they're like, yeah, we got weed, you know, just come with us. So I'm like, fuck. And one of the guys I could understand, but two of them, they had, I don't know what their accents were, but I didn't understand them really. So we're walking, and they start, like, this guy pulls out a blunt, and he's lighting it up. And I haven't smoked in, like, 4 or 5 days, so I'm just looking at this thing, like, please offer it to me, please. I was fiending. And he's like, little homie, bro, you want to hit this? I'm like, yes. So I hit that shit. And just like you guys know, right? Usually, if you smoke every day, you hit weed once, it's not going to do shit. I hit that fucking blunt, and my whole perspective changed. Like, I'm looking around like, this is really crazy, isn't it? I'm in a new state. I don't know where the fuck I am. I'm with these people I don't know. And I'm going back to their car. That's good, right? But I wasn't sketched out or anything, so I didn't care. So I walk a little bit, and I'm high as fuck. And now my main worry, of course I want to get this weed, but I'm like, I need a drink, bro. I need to get a drink after this. So we get in the car, right? And he's like, how much do you want to get? And I don't want to just let him know, like, how much cash I got on me or anything, you know? So I'm like, I don't know, maybe like an eighth, maybe a little more. So he's like, okay, an eighth. He says $50. $50. And I look at him, and I'm like, dude, I know I'm younger. And I said this right to him. I was like, I know I'm younger, but come on, man. Like, that's way too high, you know? That's like, literally, if you went to a dispensary with tax, it might be that much. Like, come on. And he's like, no, it's 50. So I'm like, fuck. Okay, I'll pay it because I'm desperate and I'm on vacation. And if I'm gonna spend $50 on an eighth, this is gonna be the one time I probably won't be sad about it. So I fucking did it, right? I was like, I don't care. So I get the weed, and they're like, hey, we'll drop you back off by the beach. You know, you don't have to walk back. I'm like, thanks. So when we pull up, right, there's a little roundabout. They drop me off, and I'm dabbing them up. I'm like, thank you guys. And I still have this dude's number, right? He had me put his name in as Capone, like Al Capone, just Capone. Fucking dumb. He's like, if you ever need weed in Florida, let me know. It's dumb shit. But so I get out, and I have the bag, like, in my pocket, but I'm also kind of feeling it, you know, because I'm excited. I kind of want to look at it, but I know I got to be a little careful. As soon as I get out, I look to my left. There's 2 cop cars right there, and they're just standing out there, and I could smell, like, I knew it reeked. So I was like, oh, fuck, like, I need to go get a drink, you know? So I'm kind of contemplating. I'm like, should I go back to where my grandma and shit is? Or should I go get a drink? So I'm walking, and I'm like, you know, let's just find a drink. So I start looking at the stores. I go into one, only t-shirts, no drinks. That's fine. I look to my left, there's like a bar place. I'm like, I don't really want to wait at a bar to get a drink and then sit there. So I'm like, I don't know. So there was one store that had drinks, and it had a long-ass line. And it looked like it was going to take like 30 minutes. So I just stood there, and I got my drink, and it took forever, and I walked back. Now, this is when it gets a little more funny. That's already a little bit crazy, you know? I remember about the group chat. So I texted him, and I'm like, yo, I'm sending you this guy's number right now. He has weed. So I sent him, everybody got stuff. They were all happy. We all figured it out, you know? Now, the only problem was getting back, right? Because it's like a 2 or 3 hour drive, and this bud reeks. It smells like fucking just dank, you know? It just smells. So I'm like, how am I going to hide this? I took 2 socks, and I put the weed in the middle, and I like bundled it up, you know, like a ball. And I put that in my hoodie pocket, took off my hoodie, wrapped up my hoodie, and then sat on it for the drive back. And I kept getting hints of the smell, but I was pretty proud of myself, you know. And I wish I had a picture of it, right? And I'm trying to look around if there's anything that's a good comparison, but not really. I had the only thing I had there to smoke with was this little gas station pipe that was like this big. I had to pack it like 4 times to get high. But I know that when people go on vacation, they got to look for stuff, and it can be stressful. So if you guys have stories, leave it in the comments, because I want to hear that shit. And I've heard my friends, it's funny, you know. But I'm never going to forget that, and I'm sure there'll be another opportunity to make a story like that. But If you're looking for something, you can find it.